feel like we have happiness all wrong. I don't know about you, but being in this era, being a generational Z, right? We grew up in this era of social media and just watching other people live their life, their best life, you know, getting their dream car, apartment, traveling the world, doing all of these things. And yes, absolutely, I love that. Girl, I want to do those things too. But I feel like when we consume all this stuff on TikTok and consume all this stuff on social media, we start to feel kind of inadequate in ourselves. We feel unhappy, we feel dissatisfied, we feel unsatisfied with ourselves. And I truly feel like we lost the true meaning of what happiness is. To be honest, I'm still discovering what real happiness is. However, I think a lot of what happiness is so far is having peace within yourself, knowing yourself, being able to validate yourself, being able to come back to yourself, being able to just be with self, to have peace. And today we're going to talk about the things that are going to allow you to have peace, okay? You don't have peace right now because you want to be in your happy girl era, right? But all of these factors are around you, and right now you're feeling a little unsatisfied, not at ease. We're going to talk about it, okay? I recently read this book called The Mountain Is You. I finally finished it, and in this book she was talking about being able to be at peace with yourself, and I couldn't agree more. I realized that a lot of the things and the reasons why I was so happy was because I was at peace within myself. I'm going to teach you how to be in your happy girl era. First step into getting into your happy girl era is a pretty hard step, and a hard realization that we all have to realize is that we have to stop playing victim, okay? We have to stop playing victim and take responsibility for how our lives are going or how we feel, and we have to finally take charge of our lives. We have to stop blaming everybody else, and we need to start taking charge of the things that we can do, and then also be grateful for the things that we actually have. I know when people be like, just be grateful, it's like, girl, I'm already grateful, but I'm not happy, you know? But I really do think that the first step into becoming a happy girl is to actually release yourself from the victim mentality and to start just practicing gratitude. You can get a gratitude journal. You can also say gratitude out loud. I sometimes say like the things I'm grateful for out loud because sometimes it's better to hear it from yourself, like auditory. Like when you hear it out loud, I feel like you feel it more. I don't know. That might just be me, but instead of just writing it down, I also like to feel it more and write it down. So I like to say it out loud. I like to write in my journal. That is going to be your first step. We have to get ourselves out of this mentality. The second tip I have for you is we are going to start painting a new reality for ourselves / a new story. And this has to come after being grateful, because I do think that you should be grateful for the life you already have and the things that you already have, but I don't think you should sit in your unhappiness. I think you should start painting a new reality for yourself, okay? And start actually living in that new reality. And there are small things, free things that you can do to start living in that new reality. The first thing to do is to start journaling out your dream self, your dream person, your dream woman. What would she be doing right now? And then once you do that, I will ask yourself, what are the things that you can do now, the free things that you can do now, the small things that you can do now to take steps into becoming and having this new reality for yourself, okay? It really does. You have to ask yourself questions. And remember what I said in the beginning, it's all about tapping into yourself. It's all about being at peace with yourself. And sometimes I feel like when we're not at peace, something is bothering us inside and we need to figure out what it is. And I think reflecting and just creating a new reality for yourself, creating a new story for yourself, actually like dwelling and visualizing the woman that you want to be or the person you want to be is a really good step to start becoming into your happy girl era, okay? The next thing I have is to start tapping into your inner child. Oh my goodness, I think this is like one of the best tips ever. I was just toot my own horn, okay? But I noticed that when I started to tap into my inner child and I started to do things that brought me enjoyment and fun and things that I used to do as a child, or just like, I don't know, just watching like shows from my childhood or just doing random stuff, like I've just felt so at ease, so at peace, okay? And tapping into your inner child could look like you doing things that you used to do as a child. Maybe you used to be an artist and you have stopped doing that. Maybe you need to pick back up the paintbrush and start painting and creating art just for fun, you know? I used to do YouTube when I was like 16. I had an old channel and I started back my YouTube channel, and ever since then I felt like a sense of enjoyment and fulfillment, you know? I feel like I have like a really great purpose, like I don't know. But stuff like that, just tapping into your inner child. What are the things that you used to love as a kid? Like maybe you liked certain foods as a kid and you haven't allowed yourself to eat those foods anymore. Maybe you have liked certain TV shows as a kid. Sometimes I like to reminisce on like really old 90s shows like Sister and I loved Girlfriends, you know? Like what are the things that you used to do as a child that used to bring you enjoyment, you know? Maybe you used to read. Figure out those things and definitely tap into her, okay? The next tip I have for you is to try new hobbies. This has been like I always say this in my video, like everything's a game changer for me, but no, really, this has been such a game changer for me. It's kind of like tapping into your inner child, but this time you're trying new things that you've always wanted to try, or maybe you try things that you never thought about but you decide that you want to try it. Babe, game changer. The other day I went horseback riding. That was so fun. It was something I never did before. Absolutely loved it. I feel so feminine on my little horse, and I feel so good, and I'm definitely gonna keep going back. I got into Pilates, and then I also got into rock climbing, and that was so fun. I just learned that I am actually an adventurous girly, okay? But doing things like that, that'll tap into your inner child, that'll tap into the new you. The next tip that I have is to remove toxicity from your life, okay? A lot of us don't realize that we are unhappy because we have a lot of toxicness in our lives, where our environment is a mess. Oh my goodness. That toxic guy you allow in your life. Maybe you have a toxic family member that really just isn't the best for you and you shouldn't be around. Maybe you have a toxic friend that you need to let go of. Maybe your environment is kind of toxic. Maybe there aren't a lot of things you can do about your environment right now, but maybe you can curate your space and maybe you can create peace in your environment right now, such as maybe like creating a new space in your room or doing things in your environment to make you feel good and do the things that you can do right now, but you want to remove that toxicity. The next thing I have, and this is one of the things that is going to create a lot of peace within your life. All of these things are going to create a sense of peace within your life, but this one specifically has created a lot of peace in my life, is starting to have slower mornings, okay? Oh, the surest way to be anxious, to be annoyed, to be just like not feeling your best is to always rush in the morning and not have time to yourself, okay? I want you to start slowing down your mornings. I want you to start waking up a little bit earlier, where you actually have at least 30 minutes to yourself, where you are slowing yourself down. Maybe you're meditating, maybe you're praying, maybe you're journaling, maybe you're reflecting. Whatever you need to do in the morning to bring yourself back to yourself and create a sense of peace in your life, you need to do it, okay? It has been one of the biggest game changers in my life, and I feel so much more at peace when I'm able to sit with myself, spend time with myself, even if I'm doing my makeup or just reading and listening to an audiobook, something like that. Like it's the best way to create that peace within your life, and it honestly has truly made me happier just having slower mornings. I don't know, it's something about a slow morning, something about me being able to like make a cup of coffee or tea and just sit down with myself and just be myself without distractions, without people around, things like that. It's really nice, and then it really just sets you up for the day, so that when people come in your life and maybe they're bringing all this stuff to you, you're like, you know what, I already spent time with myself, I'm okay. The next thing I want to talk about is something I kind of touched on in the beginning, is we gotta put down that phone. Girl, you have to put down that phone. It is time to start spending time with yourself more, and it's time to start putting down your phone. Oof. I believe a lot of us are unhappy because of social media, to be honest, and I feel like if we just took off social media and touch a little bit of grass, girl, we would be fine, okay? You know, obviously there might be other factors too, but a lot of social media has made us all, we can all agree, it's not the best. It's time to put down your phone, okay? One thing about me, I put my phone on do not disturb at about 9 o'clock. I try to go to bed at 9, and I don't take my phone off do not disturb until 6:30. There's a feature on iPhone that allows you to do that. It'll like black out the screen, and you'll be able to just black out your screen. Now, sometimes I still be on social media at those times, but most of the times, especially during that 5 o'clock, 6:30 window, I'm spending more time with myself rather than just being online. Putting down your phone is it's probably the best tip out of every tip that I just said, because I think social media can cause you so much anxiety that you might not realize that you have because of social media. So I think when you release yourself from it and you give yourself pockets of time when you're not on social media, or if you can even delete the apps for like a week, and I just realized my dog was back there, but you can even delete your apps for like a week and just like tap back into yourself, work on some hobbies, work on some things, journal, do whatever you need to do to get back to yourself. But you have to feel that peace, and I think a lot of feeling that peace would be for you to just get off your phone. Get off your phone. And something I've been talking about through and through for the next tip is self-reflecting. Self-reflecting has been the best tip. I keep saying everything's the best tip. Let's just say this whole video is just great, okay? But no, self-reflecting is such a good game changer. Like I said, in my book, The Mountain Is You, it talked a lot about peace, and I realized I feel more at peace and like a happy girl when I am self-reflecting, when I am working on myself, when I am becoming the best version of myself. And in order to become the best version of me, I tend to self-reflect. I tend to reflect on a lot of my toxic traits. I reflect on the things that I need to work on. I reflect on my goals. I reflect on the day. I, just reflect on how I'm feeling. All that brings me back to myself, and all that makes me tap into myself. And I think that has brought me a sense of peace and happiness because of the fact that I'm actually listening to myself. I'm validating myself. I'm making sure that I'm okay. That's a happy girl right there, girl. It's a happy girl, okay? There is no happiness without self-reflection or just sitting down with yourself and being at peace with yourself, okay? There's something inside of you right now that really needs a lot of peace and wants to be happy, and I really think self-reflection would do that for you. Number 8, I feel like everybody knows what I'm gonna say, but it's gonna be walks, okay? Daily walks has changed my life. Hot girl walks have changed my life. Prayer walks have changed my life. I like to take walks in the morning with my dog, of course. Sometimes I take walks without my dog. Sometimes I'll sit there and I'll pray during my walks, or I will just walk and reflect in my head about what's going on in my life. It's the same thing as self-reflecting, but there's something so peaceful as taking a walk, or even just sitting on the porch. When I was younger and old people used to like sit on the porch, I totally understand now. Like, I understand why they do it now. It's peaceful, is it not? Is it not, girl? Is it not? It's peaceful, okay? It is very peaceful, and it is that thing that will bring you a lot of peace. Yeah, it certainly brought me a lot of peace in my life. I love to start my day with a walk. Number 9 is kind of like the walking tip, but it's exercise. I think exercise is a great way. I know a lot of people say exercise is true, but it's very true. It'll have you feeling so good after the exercise. Like, in the moment when you're doing it, you're like, I don't want to do this. Like, there is a reason why people exercise, it's really great for your mental. And I think if you're struggling, exercise can really, really help that. It certainly has helped me. But yeah, I think exercise is a really great way to start feeling like getting your mood up and just feeling a lot better about yourself. And along with exercise, the next tip I have is, what are you putting in your body? Oh my goodness. I have a little mini story time, but not really a story time. But girl, I had some oatmeal and blackberries yesterday, and I felt so good. I felt so happy. I felt so rejuvenated. I felt so upbeat, right? I came home and I had a bunch of Taco Bell for lunch. And I kid you not, after I had that Taco Bell, I felt sluggish, I felt tired, I felt kind of sad after I ate it. I don't know why I was sad yesterday, but I was sad. And I was like, whoa, like my mood is really terrible. I do think food can impact a lot of your mood sometimes. And putting in really healthy things in your body can impact your mood in a better way. I would just say try to be intentional about what you're putting in your body. I know we're not going to be perfect with what we're eating, but I do think that adding things like berries and adding things like fruits and veggies and kale and spinach and juicing can make you feel so good inside, and it can really up your mood and make you feel like a happy girl. The next one I have is to start intentionally making new friends, and then also creating a better bond with old friends. I think community is so underrated. I definitely used to be one of those girls that were like, I don't want to make new friends, I don't know how to make new friends. And I definitely think that was coming from a place of like hurt from like past friendships and like the deep past. And then I used to be like, no new friends, but then I realized I want all the new friends, and I also want to nurture the relationships I have with my old friends. Like I realized that, and I realized as I got older that community was so important. And I think when people say no new friends or all these other stuff, like I think it's definitely rooted in a lot of hurt. Or when they say I don't want any friends, that's not true. You want friends. Like you have to have friends. I think it's great to be by yourself, and we have been talking about tapping into yourself, but it's also really great to have a community that is backed by you, that's surrounded by you, that you can call on the days where you're feeling down, when you're feeling sad, or even just, you know, when you're happy. Like having that community around you, people can really uplift you. And I just think having that community is amazing. A great way to make friends. People might knock it, but it's a great way. I've met some friends on here, but Bumble BFF, I've tried the app before, and it's a great way to meet friends. It's not always effective, but when it works, it does work. I've met a really good friend on there before. That's a great way to meet friends, but also just trying new hobbies, putting yourself out there, just going to different events alone can have you meeting friends. Okay, when you're by yourself, people like flock to you. They want to talk to you. They're like, oh my god, what's she doing by herself? What is this beautiful girl doing by herself? Like, you know, if you want to meet people, go places alone. Just go places alone, okay? And you'll meet new people. Stop closing yourself off. A lot of the times, because you might just be unhappy because of social isolation. And girl, we need to get you back out there, okay? And the next thing I have is intentional time with your family. Yeah, as long as your family's not toxic, okay? But intentional time with your family is just as equally as important as the friend thing. You know, if you feel like you haven't spent any time with your family and you miss them, go ahead and give them a call, or go ahead and spend some time with your family. I definitely think that can make you a lot more happier, and that you can be in your happy girl era. And the next tip and last tip I have is to schedule intentional breaks. Woo, this one I had to put in here because I have realized that breaks are so necessary. I get it, you have a lot going on, you have a lot to do, but give yourself that break. Give yourself that break to watch TV, to do some self-care, to sit in your room, to just chill, scroll on your phone, whatever. Give yourself that intentional break. You deserve it. You are not a robot. You deserve it. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed my lovely, mostly free ways to become a girly in your happy girl era. yeah, I'm so excited for this video. I really hope it helped. And yes, if you want more videos about self-love and self-care and confidence and just glowing up, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. That is exactly what my channel is about. Inner work, and then we also do some physical work over here. So if you like things like that, go ahead and subscribe. My name is Aliesha, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.